Mm-mm. Shalom, shalom, and shalom, Sister Deborah, prophetess in the wilderness. And you know what? That's all right with me. Coming again on this Deborah platform with another message. And I will say this is a lovely, lovely early morning in which the Most High Yah has made. And I, Sister Deborah, shall and I will rest therein. I want to let you know I've been off YouTube for 7 days. They gave me a strike from my last video, and they used the issue of medical information. You see, and I say unto you that this need be. This is their platform, and they are entitled to ban uh, me from the devil's platform, and I don't blame. 'Em. I don't blame. 'Em. This is the devil's platform. So I say unto you, I'm back again and I'm going to give more spirit and truth, food for the spirit. What we have did, we have failed in so many ways. And we're continuing. And it's not the type of uh, 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 disappointment in the spirit of Yah. He says to me, Deborah, this need be. He say, Deborah, this need be. That what? His word may be fulfilled according to what is, what was, and what shall be. So these things in which we see that's actually taking place, the spirit of the Most High Yah wants me to tell you these things need be. Okay, but this is what he brought to my spirit this morning, and I'm so joyful regarding it. And I'm going to video this message. This is Monday, and I'm bringing it forth because he has given it to me, and to lock it in to where once YouTube open up, I can bam shoot it right through, because this is truly food for the spirit. And I missed you all during the time that they had banned me the 7 days, but I'm back again with more food for the spirit. And if you're entertaining individual who's not giving you the food for your spirit, I'm gonna tell you, it really identify who you are. And even this message I'm about to put forth, it tells you who you are. And it doesn't matter who you try to be or who you category yourself to be. These messages in which I put forth, these things need be. These things need be. He even gave me a message for the chosen and why the chosen are the chosen. And he gave me a wonderful message from somebody that I wouldn't even listen to, but he had uploaded something in there and he was trying to teach it. And I'm like, what is he doing? What is he talking about? But at the end, he left a 15, 16-minute uh, 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 message from a European. And it just done something to me, you all. And I'm going to share it with you, and I'm going to upload it and hope that I can do it in a way that you can get that message as well. Okay. It's a 15-minute, and I don't know what I'm doing. You all, I don't know nothing about computers or anything. Um, I was trying to figure out why was this computer blurry, not this laptop blurry around up in here, and I realized, wait a minute, no, Deborah, you got to wait. You got the spirit on you right now. That's why. I'm like, oh, I forgot. I'm serious. When I say on me, it's a feeling that down so deep down rooted in me to where I have to go to the bathroom and release everything in me out. Everything in me has to come out. Instant, y'all. Instant. That's when that ruach in me is bubbling over. And it wants to feed me food for my spirit. And according for he to give it to me the way he want me to have it, he wants me to release everything inside of me. So when that happens, I get up, I be feeling so good about what he's revealing. I use the bathroom, I come back, and I get with it. So I said today, I'm gonna make sure I video this food for the spirit. And what he gave me is, we have in time past and in present time have given living life, and we've given life death. We've given living life, and we given life death. And what he's saying, what he was saying to me was, what they have lived they're living on is their mentality of life, not understanding life itself. They put that under the category of death. And he said, this is one of the, 1 minute, this is one of the issues that is taking place here on the earth. But the issue is not an issue in the kingdom. These things need be as the kingdom has predestined it. So he was just giving me a little insight of it. And I'm going to tell you all, I said something to you all, and I like to say it again. And I should say it more often. The things in which, the food in which I give you for the spirit is your survival tool. Okay? No matter what go on in your life, this food will cause you to survive. It will cause you to endure. It will cause you to be supported in your spirit realm, to the things that come after your natural, to the things that come after your natural being. This food that I give you all is for you to have the strength to defeat that thing that comes to you in the natural. And we know that this natural life comes with a world full of issues, disappointment, you see, disagreements, dislike, heartaches and sadness and sorrow. But what happens when you take the food in which Sister Deborah has been feeding you on this Deborah platform? It's what gives you strength. It gives you that which you need to defeat the part of you that thinks it's life. Our flesh wants to claim life. No, people. Separate the flesh from the spirit. Separate the spirit from the flesh at all times. We're doing what? We're breaking down them twos. Flesh and spirit. Don't put no middleman in there. Don't even think of soul. Look at flesh and spirit, and it'll take you a long way home. And when I say a long way throughout your life, you'll be able to see anything go on, anything happen, anything you see in the world. All you do is break it in twos. Once you break it in twos, you got it. You got it made. And that's what people don't understand. Now, I ain't gonna say people don't understand this need be, Deborah. That's what he keeps telling me. And this is what he means. They say they see, but they cannot see, because he that see it is I that has opened his eyes to see. He that hear it cannot hear. They say they hear, but they cannot hear. He that has an ear, Deborah, can hear. And that ear means the rock is the ear. See, a lot of 99.9 millions of people that have churches, they are not even aware of that. Many of pastors, many of bishops, many apostles, many of priests, many of teachers, and many of evangelists, many of prophets, and many of prophetess, many of seers, and many of Maureen, and many of watchmen has no idea of what I'm talking about. It wasn't meant for them to have spirit and truth. It's meant for them to teach it the way their evil heart desire it, because they have turned, listen to what I'm saying, this is what this message is about. They have turned living into life and turned life into death. Ooh-wee, Father, I'm about to get in trouble. I'm going to get in trouble. Let me say that again. They have turned living into life and life into death. It's like putting shoes. You got a right foot and a left one. Or you got two hands. You got a right and then you got a left. But you're going to put the left glove on the right hand and the right glove on the left hand. You're going to put the left shoe on the right foot and the right foot on the left shoe. The right shoe on the left shoe. This is what the Father in the kingdom is saying to me, his prophetess, in this day and time. And I, Sister Deborah, want to give it to you out there who have an ear to hear. Wonderful message. Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. And how I'm going to bounce on it and bounce off of it, I'm going to still land it in the kingdom where the throne is at. And I'm going to take it there at the beginning and I'm going to bring it out. And I'm going to bring it right back in. Okay? So the Father is revealing to me, Deborah, they have taken living and made it life. They have taken life and made it death. how he start off with me, he start off how we as parents teaches our children how to live in this world in a way that we gain in the flesh. That we have this, we go to school, we learn what we learn. And when we're learning, he said, you're not even learning truth. You're there to go to school to learn the lie. To what? To go to the next school and learn another lie, which is college. Now you got your degree and you're learning to take your degree and try to find a job that would support you and your family afterwards. This is the living that we call and we have created as life. And he went on to telling me, backing it back up to where he said, Deborah, it's like unto train up a child in the way they should go. See, they never knew the way. So how can they train them up? So therefore, I had to have been speaking to he that knows the way versus he that know not the way. But I wanted them to understand that there is a way. And it's also like Proverbs 16, I think it is verse 2. In a man's eyes is clean in his own eyes. That's in his flesh. But the Father has a way outside of your flesh, and that is in your spirit realm. What I'm learning is because there are twos of flesh and the spirit, we gave the flesh life and gave life death. Praise the mighty God. I'm about to be in trouble. I'm going to be in trouble. Oh, yes, but I'm going to be in trouble in truth. So what he's saying is, even when you saying, he's saying to me, he said, Deborah, it's like a train up a child. And he stayed firm on that. Listen to what he said. He said 99.9 of what the family thinking. Oh, I raised my child. I took care of him. I did this. I did that. This. I did this. I sent him to college. I did this and did this. I support them even to today. That's what you call living. But did you give them life? So what he's saying is train up a child in the way. Now we got to find out what is the way. The way of righteous. That's the only way. He wouldn't tell you to train up a child in the way that's unrighteous. So the only way he could possibly be telling you is to train up a child in what is righteous. And when he get old, he shall not depart. Getting old and not depart from it mean eternal, you guys. Is eternal. We as mothers and fathers have trained up our children the way that our mother and their mothers and their mothers. And this is why he's coming back after the father's children. 3 to 4 generations. And here we are still in them same generation because it never ceased. Okay? The generation continued the ways. So here it is. He's telling me they took living and made it life, and took life and made it death. So as he was starting off telling me, he said like they would train their children up to learn this, and then go to college, and then go get a home and get a wife and the children, or get not in that order. But he's just saying all the things that makes one think they're gonna live on this earth forever. And what we did as parents, we should have taught our children life first and foremost. That's the way he was teaching us when he said, train up a child in the way that he should go. The only way is righteous. But where was he telling us? And who was he telling us to train up? The children. And instead, we trained up in them living and made it life, as if living is going to last forever. And we did not train them up in life, which is eternal. Yes, it's eternal. Life is really eternal. It's either eternal kingdom or the eternal, what? Lake of fire. But life is eternal. That's what we're going to have when we go and stand before him and our spirit stands before him. Our spirit is going to have ability to have life within it. But where do living end? It dies. It goes to the grave. Us living goes straight to the grave. Quick. And no man knows the day nor the hour in which living is assigned. So isn't it important? You can go into the grave at a newborn. You can go to the grave at 150 years old. But grave is waiting for you when you're born to when you die. Living, the grave is waiting for you. It's waiting for you. But life meets you at the throne of the Most High God. So why is it we teaching people about living on this earth and not teaching and training up the children in righteousness that teaches them about life after this old living? So when he says train them up, he's speaking of righteous. And what is righteous? Life, the only thing that lives forever. But we have trained the children up in how we live and not life first and foremost. And what he was saying, which is beautiful, he's saying train them up as a child. And if you train them up as a child, when they get old, they're going to remember life. They're going to remember the righteous things you taught them, even when they're old. Why? Because when they're old, that's the end. That righteous that you trained them up, that life that you trained them up in will go to the throne before the Most High Yah to have eternal life. You see? So what he's saying is, a lot of us really think that we got the game and gone. We're running with it, baby. We got it. We out of here. We got it and gone. And we ain't going nowhere. But like I told y'all, in a circle. You're just running in a circle. You think you can go to and fro and up and down and over here and over there. You just a confused spirit on the earth. Because if you weren't a confused spirit on the earth, you'll be steadfast, unremovable, seeking the kingdom and his ways, his righteous, his direction, his instruction, his chastising you'll be feeling, his discipline you'll be feeling, so you can stay the way. You say you can stay in the race. But what? They taking living and putting it on the highest pedestal, and they have taken life and put it low. That's just like a right shoe and a left shoe. You put one on the right on the left and the left on the right. You put on gloves. How uncomfortable is it to put a glove that belongs on the right hand, you putting it on the left? Or the glove that belongs on the left hand, you put it on the right. How uncomfortable does that feel? Try it someday. And then go outside, go in your backyard, walk with shoes on the wrong foot. When the Father said, this is what you all have done throughout time and have gotten away with it, but have not gotten away because heaven had everything listed here and here, to the left or to the right. Oh, I'm going to get in trouble on this message. So what I'm saying unto you all is, you think you got the game and gone? I want to let you know, the Most High Yah always had the game. He's the creator of it. So you can't take the game that he created. In the game, he's always the winner. He's the founder. He's the creator of it. So when you think you done got the game and gone, you done got yourself to identify who you serve. And that's pretty much it. From what? The game maker, the game creator himself. So we're going to go into this message. But like I said, he started off by telling me, even when he said train up, I said, oh, that makes a lot of sense. Oh, that's really good. Then he went on to tell me, you know how you would say you brought your children up, you breastfed them, you homeschooled them, you took care of them, you bought them their first car, you sent them to college and all that. That's living. But have you given them life? Woo! Have you taught them the ways of life? Nope. Parents don't want to give that to their children. They don't want to give it to their toddlers, their first graders, their fifth graders, their sixth graders, their eighth graders, their college students, their children in college, the children with degrees. We don't want to give them anything but the hope and the promise of living. We just want them to be successful living, but not be successful dying. And this is why you see so much chaos in the world today. It's almost like that example. Everybody wants to go to heaven, but nobody wants to die. That's the reality of when it's all said and done. That's the reality. Everybody wants to go to heaven, but nobody wants to die. You know, you got to die to be able to enter in, to be able to be one that enter into the heaven. For judgment itself alone, you first have to die. But see, what people don't understand is they think that living and the way that they want to teach, the way they want to preach, they want to interpret it, and they want to their religion, who they are. They want to teach us who we are on the outside. Oh, you the true Jews, you the children, you the this and you the that. Come on now, pull up in life and see what life has to say. See what life has to say about the truth of the matter. They don't want to do that because life is going to show up with spirit and truth. Life going to show up with the light in the right hand. And it's going to tell you what is, what was, and what shall be in the order of the kingdom. Not in the order of your control, your manipulation, but that's just what he's explaining to me. They went that way already, Deborah. So I like how he put it, because he said they turned living into life and life into death. And first thing I said, well, they can't do that. He said, Deborah, it's not that they can't do it. They done it. And it's all well because heaven had already wrote it up and wrote it out. Praise the mighty Yah. Who's who and what's what. It's a blessing to understand that in your spirit. So even within ourselves, we can go out here and do whatever we think we can do and get away with it. And we don't understand you and who you stand for shows clearly here on the earth who you represent. You hear in the Ezekiel, Isaiah, and Jeremiah how he's going to clean us up from our sin and our iniquity, because no matter, as long as you're on the earth, you're going to be found with some sin and some iniquity. You're going to be found with it. Sister Deborah going to be found with it. But he's saying that I'm going to be the one that clears it up. But can I find myself in that one that I'm going to clean up? Yes, he can. He'll find his ruach sitting in the midst of Sister Deborah's spirit. Those are the ones that he's going to clean up. Because he's in the spirit, he come to clean the flesh and renew the spirit. You see? So therefore, I want you all to understand this message in its fullness. So let's get into it. Now, I want to say unto you all, I'm going to back this up and I'm going to back it down. Then I'm going to back it up again because I want you all to understand this is the way heavens has ordered it. And you're going to see how easy and simple spirit and truth with the with the light in the right hand actually is. Okay. I want to start off with Ecclesiastes chapter 6, verse 3 and 4. I want to start off with Ecclesiastes. I hope I'm pronouncing it. I'm a bad pronouncer of words. And I'm not a good reader. I'm not. Ecclesiastes chapter 6 and verse 3 through 4. And what I'm trying to get you all to understand is this. Is we sit back and we want to train our children, our grandchildren, our wives, and our husband in the way of living. We so busy taking everything and creating it in an environment as if this is the eternal life right here on earth. But that's the way we're training people. That's the way we're training up the children. We're not training them up in what is what? Righteous. See, they didn't know that when he said train up a child in the way that he should go, they never knew he was speaking to the men. They never knew that he was speaking of righteous. He didn't say train up your child in the way your mother came up, or your father came up, or your grandfather came up, or your grandmother came up. He said, train up a child in the way. And Sister Deborah is a living witness and not a dead one. Is that the only way is righteous, and that is comes strictly out of the bosom of a creator. That's the only way. There's no other way to train up a child. And when you train this child, the beauty of it is this. It's almost saying, if you train this child up in the way that he should go, it's going to follow him all the way till he old. And he's going to enter into the kingdom. That's all he's saying, y'all. But one thing that's good about it is this. He said, Deborah, these things need be. That means in the order in which people have trained and have brought up their children, me allowing them to understand, train up a child in the way that they shall go. He said, now, millions of families, billions of families don't even understand that statement. But the only way they can understand it is when I send mine, who holds the mystery. They hold the mystery because the mystery holds them. Greater is he that is in them than he that is in the world. But they don't settle for the ones that's host a mystery that's greater in Yah. They want to live the world and call it spiritual, and call it the word of Yah, and call it everything that does not represent Yah. They call it under their own self-righteousness. That's why he said, lean not to your own understanding. Me, myself, I know there's an understanding that I can't even lick the ground to get. And that is the Most High Yah. That's the understanding we need to get, his understanding. And how do we get it? How do we get it, Deborah? You can only get it in spirit and in truth, because he is a spirit and he is all truth. So if you get it, you're going to have to get it in the spirit realm of where he resides in you. You see what I'm saying? And you're going to get the truth of the whole matter. That's why we can't make books the word. We got to make him who he is the word. And when he comes in us, he breaks these words down to us. That's why we were only to study to show ourselves. We wanted to study to show the world. We weren't studying to be a pastor, a bishop, a watchman, a seer, a priest, a prophet, a prophetess. We weren't to study to be who we said that we are. We was to study and wait on the true teacher to come and abide in the spirit of who we are and teach us all things. But what we say, no, we don't want that. We want to live and call it life. And we want to call life death. Now, what has happened is when you make life death, you turn 100% away from Yah. So people who take life and have made it death, meaning they don't focus on life at all. And let me tell you what I mean by that. People who are calling themselves holy than thou, they are children of the Most High God. They are the true Jews. They are they are so righteous. They are all these different administrative positions they call themselves. They didn't think they something because they're on these devil platforms. Don't even understand, baby. You just living and calling it life. Never thought that you never taught life. Because life is really living. Life is not death. It's eternal. So we living in our flesh. Life is in the spirit. So why are we sitting here cutting up from the floor up from the flesh end? Because we are born of the flesh. We are born of the flesh. This whole Bible has always taught people many things. But what they did is when they took this Bible, they began to live life. And life wasn't living them. Because they were living life. Meaning they was in their flesh trying to teach us how to live a way of life. Not understanding life was before living. So living can't come before life. Life was, is, and shall always be. It was here in the beginning. So when we come out, we got to understand that breath of life enter in us, leaving us a mindset to understand life is first, then living. You see what I'm saying? But he's saying to me this morning, we took living and made it life and think we're doing something because we're coming from the King James, because we're coming from the lost books and the found books. We think that we're living. These books are a part of living. They are not a part of life, you people. Oh, what is that? What is it? Calm down, Deborah. Calm down. These things need be. You know, living is of the flesh. It's what he given you of the flesh. But it's holding life. Life was, life is, life shall always be. Life gonna pull up at the throne. And guess what it's gonna be? You in the spirit that has life. He's gonna cause that spirit to rise and be judged. So a lot of people, even with the talents, the men didn't understand, nor the women understand the talents. They thinking it's living. Everything is connected to what we can see and believe, what we can hear out of our natural ears and accept. That's our mindset of living. But life coming to teach you those things which you cannot see, but yet you believe. Why? Because it's spirit. So here we are. We're going to Ecclesiastes chapter 6 and verse 3 and 4. So I'm going to break this down, what the Ruach has given me this early morning about living life. They have taken living and made it life, and took life and made it death. Life can't go to the grave, you people. Life is eternal, whether it's eternal kingdom of heaven or eternal lake of fire. You can't let life die. What he gave, when he breathed in his nostrils, he breathed him a spirit that had life. You see, that spirit is not going to rise without any life in it. He's going to have to cause the order of when he said, come before the throne, all life is going to, all living in the spirit, everybody's spirit is going to rise. You think your grave going to rise? No, that's death. That's your living is in the grave, baby. But life's going to rise up. It's going to be within your spirit and stand up before the throne. It is a spirit. Life comes out of y'all. And it's grown into your spirit, into your flesh, as an image of him, as a spirit. That's the only place he abides in you, is in your spirit. Why? Because he created you a spirit that he can abide in. That's where breath is left. That's where breath rests. So when he sent death, death only comes through the spirit. The flesh is destroyed, but life is plucked from the spirit of who you are. You see? Which belongs back to who? The breath goes back to the throne, the Father. And the spirit rests until he called the order for all to be judged. And at that time, Yeshua is going to have already separated. And that example of the separation is giving us some insight on the earth, what it's like in heaven. It's going to be already separated, you guys. You see? So when people thinking they're going to get up here and hoop and holler and say this, they don't even understand. Everything will already be separated. It was separated before it was created, you guys, on the earth. So let's go to Ecclesiastes chapter 6 and verse 3 and 4. If a man, wait a minute, Ecclesiastes chapter, okay, yeah. If a man beget 100 children and live many years, so that the days of his years be many. Now here you got 1,000,000 children, 100 children. And listen to this. So that the days of his years be many, and his spirit be not filled with good. And also that he have no burial, no burial, I say that an untimely birth is better than he. An untimely birth is better than he. Verse 4, for he come in with vanity and depart in darkness, and his name shall be covered with darkness. See, he's telling you right there. He come already. This type of man that has had 100 children. See, when these men of the Hebrew come telling you that they are to produce, and you think it's okay for you to have all these children by all these women, and and you get another man tell you, come to my land, we got virgins, come here, marry women and have babies and have whatever you want. Baby, Yah has already your number pulled for who's who and what's what. So why sit up among a man and listen to a man tell you the things of life? He can't. He can tell you the things of living to death, but he cannot tell you anything of life because he's not of the eternal life. He's not the one that carries life messages. He is the man that's telling you about living. Living is fleshly, life is spiritual. Okay? Living is death and life is eternal. See, they ain't gonna teach you that. These men ain't gonna teach you that teaching these people living versus teaching people life is totally different. They're tools. Living is living according to the flesh. And living goes to the grave with everything you have gained within it. But life, come on now, y'all, do you know what you're pulling up with? You see, life is not living, and living is not life. You have to first understand that living was before life. It came with an assurance. Either you're going to be in the hell or not the lake of fire, or you're going to be in the kingdom. Life is that itself. It don't need you to justify, clarify, and identify. But when you're listening to these men, let me tell you something. And these women, especially these women on this devil platform, that's why they feed. When you hear Sister Deborah saying these people are feeding you the flesh, they feeding you food that's not for your flesh. They entertaining the world. This is what I'll be trying to explain to you all. They're showing you that living is life. Because we got all that we have to give you is really surrounding living. We don't have the food for life because we turned life into death. We turned this living on this earth into life, which is totally backwards. But it's the backwards that Yah has created them to flip in. Okay, now listen to this in Ecclesiastes chapter 6 and verse 4. For he cometh in with vanity and depart in darkness. See, a man cometh in, mean he's born into vanity. He's born into darkness. See, you all thinking down here rule. That's why you've been taught all these years, and even to today, 2024, you're taught backwards. And it's okay, because he that is taught backwards cannot be made straight. He that's taught backwards cannot be made straight. Backwards were meant for those who are backwards. You see? It's meant. That's why they won't give it up in the name of $1 on this devil platform. That's why they won't teach you all spirit and truth with the light in their right hand, because they are stuck in living, trying to get you to think that it's life. And what they're doing is they got these people on this devil platform is taking living and making it life. And it's so unjust. It's so unrighteous. It's so wicked and so evil. It's just not right to make living life and then make life death. No. We can't. I can't do that. You see, I take on what the spirit of the Creator feed unto me. In my what? Spirit do I get food. Okay? From the Creator. And here in Ecclesiastes chapter 6, verse 3 through 4, it says, if a man beget 100 children and live many years, so that the days of his years be many, and his spirit be not filled with good, and also that he has no barrier. I say that an untimely birth is better than he. It's better than he. See, because why? Verse 4. For he cometh in with vanity. See, y'all thinking you come in here each and every, like every time somebody come into and have life and is born, they come in, oh, they an angel, oh, they nothing but an angel. That's what people think. They think everybody's an angel as come down here as being, oh, goody goody, oh, they did. And that's how much glory and honor we give those children that we birth, not understanding that they come from this man's womb. We don't understand that he says, out of these men, he's telling you the iniquity that's in these men, he's going to visit it in the children. Okay, and that means the women and the sons. Okay, so when we are looking at him saying how the how many in a household, 3 against 2 and 2 against 3, when he come and he said that in a man's household is those of his own enemy, meaning and vanity, because he's talking about in the womb of a man. In a womb of a man, his seeds are already evil and a hate, vanity, and enemy. It's in his womb. See, when he said household, he's saying in this area, when he break it down, he's talking a man's womb. You see? So you got to understand here, it's also saying the same thing. In Ecclesiastes chapter 6 and verse 4, for he cometh in with vanity and depart in darkness, and his name shall be covered with darkness, meaning the lake of fire. You see, y'all? So when y'all running around here thinking you got this power and you authority, you can teach these people that living is life. He wants me to let you know you had it backwards. You had you had your shoes on the wrong foot. You had your gloves on the wrong hand. That's where your mentality is. What is right and what is wrong is backwards, like unto. Okay? So what we need to understand is life is living. Living is death. Because we can live from A to Z, like he said in this man with all these children. It don't matter how many children he has and what, he still can be a man that come into the world with vanity, with darkness. And his name shall be covered with darkness. Ain't no good behind him. They're going to come to his throne and make him an angel. But the Father said his name, it's revealed that he ain't nothing but darkness. But would they say that at his funeral? No. They'll make him a good father, a good this, and out of the 100 children, you might have 2 or 3 to say he was a good father. Might have 2 or 3 that don't want to show up at his funeral. So I'm just showing you here. I like Ecclesiastes chapter 6 and verse 3 and 4, because it's speaking to the men. Oh, they don't hear this. They don't hear this. They don't care. They don't care for this. Why? Because they are living and they're teaching you how to live in the order of their wisdom, their knowledge, and their understanding, which is nothing wrong with that, because Yah said it need be. But then what did he say in Ecclesiastes chapter 6 and verse 4? For he that cometh in with vanity and depart in darkness, and his name shall be covered with darkness. You see, he that comes in, he's going to be covered with that. He's going to be named as that. He's going to leave out of here likewise. And and he even after 100 children, it says, how can a man be that? So when y'all get out here and y'all people entertain Pastor Dial and these men that's out here and his church form, his wicked form, and these people, cause they appear and it looks like they got everything, and it appear, and that's any and everybody on these devil platforms got you looking at them from the media and not understanding, baby. It's so much chaos in their household, it is off the chain. Why? Because they're trying to make you think that heavens is in their homes. Heavens is the way we're going by. This is truth where we're at. But you can tell them and you know them by their fruit, because they don't speak spirit and truth with the light in their right hand. They don't teach life. They teach living. That's why they can sit on here and tell you what they got, what you need to get, what you need to get. We got this, we got this, we got this. It's because they're teaching you living and not life. And that is what he was saying to me this morning about train up a child. He brought that back to kind of help support what he was informing me of in this message I'm speaking to you all. It's because training up a child means men, bring up your children in righteous. Bring up them in righteous. But what do? They bring them up the way that they feel righteous is. You can't do that. You can't do it, but you do it. Because you're training your children that living is life and not life. And training them that life is death. But living is life. And life is death. So when I get to Ecclesiastes chapter 7 and verse 1, here we go again. Ecclesiastes chapter 7 and verse 1. A good name is better than a precious oil, and the day of death than the day of one's birth. The day of death is than the day of one's birth. You see? So here he's explaining that a good name is better than precious oil, and the day of death than the day of one's birth. He's letting you know death is precious than the day of birth. So there go that left and right shoe. He said to us, when we are born, that is a time of what? Crying. But when we cease from this life, that's a time of what? Rejoicing. But we took it and we reverse it. Where do you go where you can go into a funeral and you're going to see everybody rejoicing? But that's the way he wanted us to look at the journey itself. It's just like Yeshua. He came to suffer and to go through. So what was the good thing about that is that he come to die for all man's sins. Okay? The things that he went through was sad and sorrow. He come here to go through all of that. So he's saying that we're going to go through when we come in. So it's nothing to rejoice for. Yeshua had something to rejoice because he had a mission to die for a purpose for all mankind. But when we come into the world, we have to understand it's not like you coming into the kingdom of heaven. You coming into chaos. You coming into living a life of chaos. But when that person dies, what happened? They are now found asleep. Their spirit is asleep and the flesh gone where? The part that was living is gone to the grave where it was assigned for eternal. The grave. Not for eternal, but for the time being. Because a lot of people don't know. He said the grave is going to be tossed into the lake of fire too. In case y'all didn't know that. Revelation chapter 20. So here in Ecclesiastes chapter 7 and verse 1, a good name is better than precious ointment, and the day of death than the day of one's birth. So we took birthing to be rejoiceful, and we took death and made it what? Sorrow and sad, because we don't understand the two. We don't understand life and living, because we made life death. So that's why they boo-hoo. They switched life and made it death. And this is the reason why people are boo-hooing at the funeral, because they switched it. They switched it. They took life and made it death. So when everybody don't no longer have the breath of life in them, everybody hooping and hollering. You see? When he says when you have the breath in you, that's when you should be also hooping and hollering, because now you in a world full of sin, chaos, and you're going to live, how would I say it, in this here world. Okay? But when you're out of this, when you sleep, okay, in the spirit, that's the time to rejoice. But when you're living on this earth, that's not the time to rejoice, because it's chaos after chaos after chaos. And it's really, really kind of breaking it down into a form of what I was saying at the beginning. What is spirit and truth? How are you going to be able to run the rest of your life with food for the spirit? And when you have food for the spirit, you will and you shall endure, because it's enough food to keep you energized in the spirit to understand the things that's going on in the flesh. And the flesh is not going to rule over the spirit. So here in Ecclesiastes chapter 1, he's letting you know death than the day of birth is better. Dying versus being born, one's birth is better. That's going back to show you how they put the shoe on the wrong foot again, the glove on the wrong hand, because people are hooping and hollering when one died, but they're rejoicing when one birth. But see how it's been switched over to where when people are dying, everybody hooping and hollering and heartache and sorrow for months, for years, instead of seeing that in death one's sleeping. No more pain, no more suffering, no more endurance, no more nothing. They're asleep. But because we have taught people that living is life and life is death, people make it look like, okay, living, they're not here. They're not living with me. I can't talk to them. I can't do this. See, that's a part of living. But see, when you understand living goes to the grave, life goes before the throne. That's the difference. And because we've been taught it wrong. Okay? So when we get to Ephesians chapter 4 and verse 3, when I get to Ephesians chapter 4 and verse 3, it reads, yea, better is he than both they, which has not yet been, who has not seen the evil work that is done under the sun. See, because you really thinking that because a baby is born, oh, a baby in the world. But what does it tell you? Right here in Ecclesiastes chapter 3, it says, yea, better is he than both they which have not yet been, mean haven't been born. Watch this here. Who has not yet seen the evil work that is done under the sun on the earth. See, we're thinking because a child is born, oh, that's so beautiful. We praise, we party, we eat cake, we happy, we joyful. What we did is we put the wrong shoe on the wrong foot, the wrong glove on the wrong hand. And we're walking around here with shoes on our wrong feet and gloves on our own hand, because we think that's the right way to go. That's the topic of this message. We made living life, and we made life death, and you can't. You got to keep life on the top of the pedestal, because it is from the breath of the Father, and it comes to give your spirit. It comes to give your spirit living. So when we sit and think that living come first and it's better than life, we done messed up from the floor up, and it's all well with the Most High Yah. He says this need be. Don't you see what's going on in the world? That's how backwards we are. Okay. Now here in Ecclesiastes chapter 4 and verse 3, yea, better is he than both they, which has not yet been. Meaning, better is someone who hasn't been born. That's what Yeshua was trying to tell Peter as well. That's what Yeshua was telling Peter. It would have been better had the betrayer not even been born. Because when you're not born, then therefore the evil on the earth was not assigned to you. You see? Assigned to you in which way, Deborah? Eternal life or the lake of fire. And he's saying here in Ecclesiastes chapter 4, verse 3, yea, better is he than both they which have not yet been born, been, who has not even seen the evil works. So when you're born on the earth, see, a lot of people thinking, oh, it's party time. We got a baby, we got sons, we got daughter. But it's evil on this earth, under the sun. What did he say? Evil works that is done under the sun. See, we really think because you're born onto the earth, that's like heaven. You see? And when you die, oh, it's like hell because the feeling of sorrow, heartache. We switch the shoes on the feet and the gloves on the hands. We did that. And that's on us. And that's how we taught people. And that's how people are teaching people. That right is wrong, wrong is right. Good is bad, righteous is wrong, and unrighteous is right. That's what we teach. That's what we taught them. Even our children. Same way. It's the same thing. When he said train them up, then you wonder why my baby like this. Why? Because you never realized that he told you that the child was coming into the world. Therefore, he had to come in assigned to his destiny of who Yah has orchestrated it. While you trying to make your sons and daughter perfect and excellent and better than somebody, oh, they this and they did, because you teaching and you preaching. Let me tell you, I'm a living witness and a living testimony. I'm not a dead prophet. I'm a living one. I'm about strictly spirit and truth with the right hand light. I'm going to tell you, it ain't like that. It's like heaven orchestrated it. And that's how it's going to go. It's not going to go Enoch and all these lost books ways. It's not going to go even the way of the words in the instructions and direction book, King James Version, 1611 or whatever you want to call it. It's going to go according to the spirit and truth. And that comes through the Ruach teaching. Okay? So now let's go to Matthew chapter 26. In Matthew chapter 26, Judas, I think that's it. Matthew chapter 26 and verse 23. In Matthew chapter 26 and verse 23, 26 and 23 through 24, Matthew chapter 26, verse 23 and 24. And he answered and said, he dipped his hand with me in the dish, the same shall betray me. So he was explaining to them, the one that dipped the dish, dipped his hand with me in the dish is the same shall betray me. He was talking about Judas. Verse 24. And the Son of Man goeth as it is written of him. See? You see what Yeshua, he wanted to make it clear to Sister Deborah. When you're teaching this thing, let them know. Nobody took my life. I laid that bad boy down. Why? Because it was written. When was it written? In the kingdom. Yeshua gave us such a clear, righteous, upright, great, perfect way of walking. He did an excellent job. We have failed his walk and walk around here trying to live and make it life instead of letting life reveal itself that it is power over living. But we so cuckoo clocked. You see, we want to call right left and left right. We want to call up down and down up. We want to make right wrong and wrong right. See, we want to do those things in he who's in the kingdom that knows where left belong and where right belong, that knows where up is and where down is, that knows about the light and the darkness, for he created it himself. We just down here clowning. Okay? So in Matthew's chapter 26, verse 23, and he answered and said, he that dipped his hand with me in the dish, the same shall betray me. Verse 24, we in Matthew 26, verse 24, the Son of Man goeth as it is written. Notice he said the Son of Man. The Son of Man. The Son of Man. Mm. The Son of Man. Mm. The Son of Man. Mm. Where is the Son of Yah? Mm. Where is the Son of Yah? Mm. The Son of Yah can't die. He is Yah himself, his only begotten, his right hand, his power, his word that comes with power, and his power that comes with word. That's why it says Yeshua didn't come down with just word. He came down with power, because power comes with the word, and the word comes with the power. Stand down, clowns. In the beginning, when he spoke the word, the power pulled up with the creation itself. You see? This is how gone people have been for so long has it been. And the Father says, Deborah, this need be. So praise the Most High Yah. So he says in verse 24, Matthew 26 and verse 24, for the Son of Man goeth as it is written of him. It's like almost saying, wait a minute, somebody wrote this here, this play here. Who did that? Who did that? The Son of Man goeth as it is written. He letting us know, y'all, it's written that I go this route. Who? Wait a minute. Where's the Son of Yah? Ha! Where is Christ in this? Hey, Son of Man, where is the Son of Yah? Notice you see Son capitalized of what? Lowercase man, bringing it down to you as low as it can go. Capital S-O-N of what? Lowercase M-O-N, man, flesh. It is written that this Son of Man, born of a woman's seed in the flesh, was what? Is betrayed. Watch this here. It had been good that man, if he had not been born. Why? When you are born, whether you are a newborn infant, when you come out and you are born, that breath of Yah blows right into you. See, a lot of people tell you life is detached to when you have them in the womb. You're alive from the pit of what you call the pit of the pit. No, you're not. You're living off that child's seed. That man's seed is living off that woman breath. And this is showing you the importance of a woman. Deborah, tell them to go back to Genesis and get it right. I got to make him a help me to meet my will. This man's sperm can't meet my will unless woman take on that mission of that seed of that man. Nourish it, provide for it, feed it, breathe for it, eat for it, bring it forth, bring it back to her bosom, feed it, nourish it, take care of it. That's a man's seed that this woman is doing this. That's why woman was created, to help him meet the full obligation of the will of the Father for creation. Not for man. Woman was not created for man. No, woman, man created for woman. We both were created for the will of the Father. See how long they've been lying, y'all? What woman come to do, man cannot. He wasn't brought to the earth to be able to take on what Yah trust the womb of a woman and the body of a woman to bring forth. So who's the strong one now? See, they don't want to talk about the spirit and truth part of the whole matter. They want to talk the way they can walk, meaning live, to deceive you, to continue to live these thousands of years as if living is life and life is death. See, when you really want to tell the truth of the matter, he said, train them up in what is righteous. And 99 billion have not been trained up in the righteousness of the Most High Yah. Okay? Now, here again, we enter in, he said, had not even been born, because this is also something I think I taught, I think when I was first 2 years here on YouTube trying to explain to people that when they go on and talk about life, they don't understand life itself. They really don't. But because they detach living as life and not life as living, this is where they're confused. When they get abortion and not understand, well, what is it your instruction book has taught you? It can teach you one thing, but when that ruach of the Most High Yah pull up, it's going to teach you spirit and truth. And the spirit of truth of this Matthew chapter 26 and 24, the Son of Man goeth as it is written. The truth of the whole matter, he only going the way heaven got it wrote down. He ain't even going his way. He going Yahweh. That's where written in word, Deborah, the kingdom, where you can't touch it. Okay, now watch this here. But woe unto that man by whom the Son of Man is betrayed. Watch this here. That man, Judas, it had been good for that man if he had not been born. Being born is a power punch, you guys. Being born meaning you are either born of the serpent seed or the spiritual seed. You're either born of light or you are born of darkness. You are born of the spirit or you are born of the flesh. Come on now, talk to me. You're either one or the other when you're born. But when you're not born, you're not detached. Heaven got you. So he's saying, had not this betrayer been born, it would have been his best bet had he not been born. But when he was born to portray the one that was born to do what? He that was born to lay his life down. And the betrayer was born to betray him, evil. See, y'all want to think y'all rule this world, but let me tell you something. Until you come to the spirit and truth of who rule this with all power, then you ain't nobody. Because right here in verse Matthew chapter 26 and 24, only way you're going to understand that is through spirit and truth. I can preach it, I can teach it, I can do whatever I want to a mountaintop. I can be on a mountaintop talking to the whole world. Don't mean nothing if the spirit of the Ruach don't pull up and give you and seal it in your spirit. Spirit and truth. You still won't get it. I can teach it to it can't be taught no more, but I will share with you it has not been taught. It has not been the food for the spirit. Now listen to what it says. It's telling you that the Son of Man, where is Yah? Wait a minute, Father Yah. Wait a minute, Father Yah. Where is the Son of Yah? He said, Deborah, you know where he at. You know where he at. See, I know that, but do you? Where's the Son of Man in this thing here? Because it's not written that the Son of Man go down and lay his life. The Son of Man is Yah. No, the Son of Man is flesh and blood. But the Son of Yah is Yah himself. It is his word connected to his power and his power connected to his word that came down with the Son of Man. So he came down to help him, to support him, to go through the mission as the Son of Man, as it was what? Written. It wasn't written that the Son of Yah died with the Son of Man. That's why he was hooping and hollering in Gethsemane, saying he was upset with them because they were sleeping. See, when the Son of Yah was there, he wouldn't be being upset because they were sleeping. Why? Wait a minute, hold up, bro. Son of Man, why are you mad? Because he in the flesh. He feeling that thing. He feeling that thing. He start to feel that. Why are you leaving wanting them to stay up? You want their flesh to stay up. And what does it gain? It was showing you that the Son of Man was feeling that mission at that time. He was feeling it. Going back and forth, praying, hoping that they would stay up watch. He was feeling that thing. Went into Gethsemane, and it was said that he said, take away this bitter cup. Now, wait a minute, who are you telling that to? Who are you talking to? He's talking to the word and the power. Not Not my will, but thy will. He was talking to the Father's beloved and only begotten, the Son of Yah, his right hand that holds the word, and the word holds the power. Get up on the cross as it was said. Get up on the tree as it was said. Abba, Abba, why have thou forsaken me? Hold up, bro. I haven't forsaken you. This need be. Remember, it was written. It was written. But what was that on the cross? That was flesh. That was the Son of Man. Because he was feeling that thing. That's why I tell y'all, if the Son of Man come here feeling that bad boy, you better feel something. Something in you should feel. And Sister Deborah tell y'all that over and over. You should be able to feel that thing. When Sister Deborah is teaching and giving you food for your spirit, you should be able to feel that thing. But what happened? They can't. We should be able to feel Deuteronomy 28. We should be able to feel this grace and mercy that's being showered down to us. We should be able to feel the Most High God. But we don't. Why? Because we're living this life. No, it's not. And then you're going to make life death. No, you got it backwards. Living is over life. Life is over living. Life rules death. We didn't put life so far down, we don't even understand it. Without the breath of life, that flesh wouldn't have pulled up. Adam wouldn't have never got up. Get up, y'all. What was he getting up to do? To live a life. To live with life in it. So life is, life shall always be. But the living, the flesh that's come to live, no, it's already assigned to the grave and it knows it. That's why it's your greatest enemy. It's your greatest enemy because it's your flesh. It don't give a rat's behind that it's going back to the grave. So therefore, it cares not for right and wrong. It cares not for righteous nor unrighteous. That's why your spirit has to have within it written out of the Lamb Book of Life. You have to have your purpose and your mission already written. That's what Yeshua was telling us. It is already written. What does he mean? The Son of Man goeth as it is written. He's going to go as it is written. Sister Deborah going to go as it is written, just like I came to living as it was written. I'm not for you. I'm not coming here to abide by you and your ways and your heart and your feelings, your emotions, your personal opinion, your wisdom, your knowledge. I come down in spirit and in truth to live that which is written. Okay, so now you go to Mark. No, let's go to John. No, let's go to Matthew's 18. Since we're still here in Matthew's 18. And I'm not going to hold you much longer because I got another video to bring out. Matthew's chapter 18 and verse 6 and 7. 6 and 7. Matthew's 18, 6 and 7. Okay, in verse 6, it reads, but whosoever shall offend one of these little ones which believe in me. Now, see, this is why I tell y'all, you be very careful. Because Sister Deborah been on this Deborah platform trying to get you all to understand the twos. There's two beliefs. There's a belief that you believe in your flesh, and there's a belief that rests in you in spirit. The one that rests in you in spirit is life. It's eternal. Yah has breeded the brands of righteous belief, faith, and fear in those who are going to reside in the Lamb Book of Life. Okay, so when he's speaking of faith, belief, and fear, and righteous, those are a brand of who he is. When he sent his down here, they are branded with those. Okay, now let's go back. Matthew chapter 18 and verse 6. But whosoever shall offend one of these little ones which believe it, they go believe, branded, which is branded in me. See, this is the problem I'm telling y'all. Y'all got this thing bent up and bent down. And it's okay. My father said, Deborah, these things need be. This is his will, you know? So whether they got it right or not, I know which one is mine. What Yeshua said, it is written, Deborah, that I lay down, I go down like this. It's written. He ain't saying he wrote it. He telling you it's written. The Father already got it orchestrated in the kingdom that he lay his life down. And we running around here thinking we ruling this thing. Because we're living, making it life. This living that we have down here on earth is not life. We got to separate life from living. And that is a part of people accepting that life belongs to the Most High Yah. First, we got to understand it was a breath connected to a spirit. When he breathed that breath in us, it breathed in a spirit in Adam. And Adam became a living being. He cannot become a living being without a spirit. I don't care what breath he got in him. That's how they clone him. They are under a life support machine, giving them breath and breathing. But they ain't got a spirit in them. It's because you all never knew that life was a spirit in you that's like an image to the Most High Yah. Every man that comes into the world, meaning with breath, they receive this life, which is the breath and a spirit of Yah, image of Yah, brought into their flesh. So you see how life really is an image of Yah and his breath. The flesh comes to live out what? The life that Yah has given it, which is to breathe, the breath, and this image. And just because he gave you the breath and the image don't mean you come down here as the spiritual seed. Because now in the spirit that was given unto you through the breath, you have to have something living inside that spirit. And it got to be the spirit of the creator, the Ruach, living inside your spirit. You see? One day I'm going to draw that to teach that in a way that you might can get it better. But what people don't understand, so this living, Adam couldn't get up. He was living. Adam couldn't get up to live nothing. He couldn't get up to go in the garden. Why? Why couldn't Adam get up? Adam could go in the garden. He needed the breath of life that blew in an image of a spirit into him, like unto Yah's spirit. He gave it to him. That's how he got up. You see, y'all? You've been teaching it backwards. You fail to realize life is what y'all concerned about. He ain't caught up in your living. Once you understand his life, then you gonna walk in his how would I say it? When you can understand life, then you can walk in spirit and truth and in with the light in your hand. But you can't walk in that when you ain't understand living. It's not life. Life has to exist before living. That's why Adam couldn't get up until life stepped into him. That gave him a spirit, which is an image of Yah and the breath. A lot of them, they did y'all wrong because they went to telling y'all that the breath of life was blown into him and he became a living soul. No. What happened to the image of Yah? You didn't cover the image. How dare y'all teach in the beginning? Didn't he tell you? Only one can pull up and give you the truth of the whole matter is the Ruach in the individual. And it's not very many, he said, because Deborah, they won't find it. They won't find it. Okay? And when someone comes and teach you it and show you the way, you better stand your tail down. I mean, real down until you get this thing to pull up. Don't come up on top of somebody and you so far down in understanding in the spirit, in the knowledge in the spirit, in the wisdom in the spirit. Okay? So here, I like that Matthew 18 and verse 6. Let's finish it. In verse 6 through 7. But whosoever shall offend one of these little ones which believe in me. See, you all messed up. You all messed up. Y'all don't understand that belief. That's one of his brands. That's one who brand? The Father's brand. He brand you with that. Now watch this here. It were better for him that a millstone were hung about his neck, and that he were drowned in the depth of the sea. Now, what's the sense of having a millstone hung around his neck? That's death itself, and then it's drowned. Ooh, oh, I'm gonna tell y'all. I'm gonna go there, y'all. I'm gonna go all the way there. Now, as I read this, I'm getting chills already because this is deeper than what you can see. And that's why I say it's so important to have the ruach of the Most High Yah, so he can give you that deepness of spirit and truth with the light in the right hand. And what happens is when he does that, then it's something you have now, and you can endure. You can run this race. You know your purpose. You know your destiny. 99.9 don't know nothing and could care less, because they think it's just going to be a time where I'm the one. I'm the one. I'm the one. But I'm sitting here listening to Yeshua also kind of break down who's who and what's what, Deborah. See, he's breaking it down, even in this here a way of how he's saying things were predestined. He's breaking it down all over again. Yeshua was breaking that thing down. He's breaking predestined down all over again. Okay, and this is what he said. He says, "One which believed in me, it were better for him that a millstone were hanged about his neck, and that he were drowned in the depth of the sea." Praise the mighty Yah. Praise the mighty Yah. And see, a lot of y'all, you all thinking when he said little ones, you really be thinking he be talking to these little kids. You really that ignorant. See, y'all missing it. He's talking about his. He's talking about his. And a lot of people think he's talking about little children. We really think he's talking about little children. He's not talking about, to us, we are his children. And we are little children to him in the spiritual realm. I think we need to go and climb up a little higher. Let's go to Matthew chapter 18 and verse 4. Whosoever therefore shall humble himself as a little child. That humbleness is innocent. Humble, quiet, meek. As a child. As a child. He was showing us how a child don't know nothing. Don't understand nothing. Humbled and quiet. The same is greater in the kingdom of heaven. That's who we are. See, he said the greatest is greater. The greatest in the kingdom. The humble ones. The meek, the quiet. In spirit. The quiet ones. They are the children. Listen to this. In my name receive it me. No, where am I at? Back to 4. Is the greatest in the kingdom in heaven. So you got to understand he's not talking about little children. He's talking about the spirit of the individual. Let's go. Matthew chapter 18, verse 4. Whosoever therefore shall humble himself as a little child. He's speaking of a spirit. Okay? And the same is greatest in the kingdom. He's speaking of a spirit that's humbled. Like unto a child. Innocent, quiet, and low. That's what he's talking about. He's not talking about you these little kids that's out here. He's using their humbleness as a child. You know how humble a child is? Just depending on you. Depending on you. You're doing everything for them. Humble ourselves. That's how we have to see the Father. That's what makes us children in him. We are his children because we are humbled and meek before the throne. You see? Innocent. In the spirit, we're humble. Now, see, in me, in the natural, I'm not humble. But in the spirit, I'm humbled. But in natural, I'm not humble. But in my spirit, I am humbled. Where? Let's go. The same is the greatest in the kingdom of heaven. We that is humble in spirit, we are the children of the Most High Yah. That's how heaven is. All of us are humble before the throne of the Most High Yah. And he's giving you an example how they are the greatest one in heaven because they are the humble. They are my children. They are the humble one in spirit. Okay. Now he says in verse 5, and whoso, you know, flesh don't go to heaven. So they can't be the greatest in heaven. Flesh don't go to heaven. So you know he's speaking of spirit. And he's not looking at a child and saying little children. No, just because you're a little child, you ain't going to enter into the kingdom because you're a little child. Like we know child. You have to understand a little child in the spirit realm. That's why it's so important to understand things in spirit and truth. So you can understand the spirit realm of a little child. It's innocent, humble, quiet, low, meek. Before who? The throne of the Most High Yah. We're not up there cutting up like we down here. We're not up there talking like Sister Deborah talking down here. In the eyes of Yah, we are humble because he's seeing our spirit humble, meek, low before him. Okay. So verse 5 said, and whoso shall receive such little ones in my name, receiveth me. He's still speaking of the little ones, the children of Yah in the kingdom. He's speaking of the spiritual ones. He's speaking only of the spiritual ones. Because see, in Yah, the spiritual ones are meek, humble, low, like little children before the throne, before Yah. And Yeshua is saying, and also shall receive one such little one child in my name, receiveth me. So we that are founded under, you notice he said, little children in my name. You see, in my name receiveth me. You see, what he's saying is, you got a bent. You had it wrong all these thousands of years. And it's okay because it was prophesied, knowledge shall increase. Knowledge is not coming to increase in the natural, which knowledge is increasing in the natural because Satan wants you to believe the new knowledge in the natural is greater than the spiritual knowledge that always was, is, and shall be. So the spiritual knowledge is coming. It's not coming, has came, and it's not going to win over because it falls into the narrow gate and not the broad. Okay? So it's all orchestrated by the right hand of the Father. When it's all said and done, you can think what you want, feel what you want, act the way you want. You can clown if you want, if you know what a clown does. Okay? So here in verse 5, and it said, and whosoever shall receive such little ones in my name receiveth me. He's still speaking of the spiritual ones, y'all. Those that are born of the spirit, he's speaking of. Okay? Then you get into verse 6. But whosoever shall offend one of these little ones, he's speaking of the spiritual ones, y'all. He's not speaking of little children. Nope, he's not speaking of little children. He's not speaking of little children. Okay? He's speaking of spiritual ones. He's speaking of those that are the children before the throne of the Most High Yah. All of us that goes before the throne are considered children. We are humble, meek, and low before the Most High Yah as little children. Okay? Now it says in verse 6, but whosoever shall offend one of these little ones which believe in me, and notice believe in me. We cannot come down here believing in Yeshua HaMashiach unless we were branded to believe. Believing is not of the flesh, it is of the spirit. As righteousness is not of the flesh, it is of the spirit. Knowledge is not of the flesh, it is of the spirit. Wisdom is not of the flesh, it is of the spirit. We are living this living under life. And we should have been living it with the understanding of life that we're living. That means we're understanding life in what we're living. And we got to understand living is death. First is life, living, death. Out of those three, only one gonna pull up, and that's life. Life is always gonna be eternal. Death, living is not eternal, nor death is not eternal. But what we did, we removed life, and we're out here living unto death without understanding living is not life. Life is living. We got to understand that life is the most high Yah. And when we reject it and we refuse it, it's because it wasn't created. It's not written that we are found to understand it. Okay? So I like that where he's letting them know in 6, you a mess creek if you mess with these. See, and that's what people been doing. That's why he said, touch not my anointing and mean them no harm. Because when you go up against them, like Judas, he was walking with Yeshua all that time, miracle signs and wonders. He even laid hand on him to go heal, show miracle signs and wonders, but got to the table. What was his destiny? To be the betrayer in the midst of the 12. See, because you think you go to church, because you on this devil platform, because you hooping, I got spirit and truth and I got the light, don't mean nothing in the eyes of Yah. It would have been better that he'd not even been born than to have his destiny to be the creator, to betray the Son of Man. See, a lot of you all don't even understand that the power of where it is written, it's going to be like it is written, not like you say it is. See, that's going back to living. Everybody think they can live this life according to their way and into the way that they see fit and the way that they feel that everything should go in order. This way, and I'm this, I'm that, I got this, I'm this, I'm that. But baby, let me tell you something. That's a person that has not learned or have not received spirit and truth with the light in the right hand. And it's okay. It's truly okay. Okay. So verse 7 says, woe unto the world because of offenses, for it must needs be that offenses cometh. But woe unto that man by whom the offenses cometh. So what people don't understand when Sister Deborah talked, Sister Deborah is not created to be your enemy. Sister Deborah is not created for you. I will say I'm created for you to hate me. Okay? If you are the seed of Satan, you are the opposite of who I am. Okay? I'm just going to put that out there. So you are created to hate me, but you hate me based on righteous. You don't hate me because of what I'm saying or you feeling offended by what I'm saying. And you are created to feel just that. Because when you are against what Sister Deborah is saying in a way, now listen to what I'm saying, in a way that you are offended at what I'm saying or the way I'm teaching or what, it's because you're the serpent seed and I am the spiritual seed. The intimacy that he said he's coming, he created all things to be in between that. And his example was Cain and Abel. His first example was showing you 2 children came out. One was the serpent seed and one was the spiritual seed. How you like me now? What did I say to y'all in Genesis 3:15? That's what the Father was sharing with us. And he did it so beautiful because it's like he told Satan that there's going to be 2 seeds. Satan's seed and the spiritual seed. Then he pulled up to make the first woman and man that he created. And yes, he created many others after them. But the first man, the first Adam and Eve, he turned around and gave 2 seeds. One was the serpent seed and one was the spiritual seed. You get what I'm saying, y'all? So that was a beautiful example to prepare somebody like me for the mission, for the purpose of the will of the Father. To show you that, Deborah, if I did that in the beginning, I told them in Genesis 3:15 what was what. I saw it to come forth in Genesis 4 with Adam and Eve and bringing Cain and Abel, and they still missed it. See, I tell y'all, these people missed it way back. Way back. And what it tells me as a prophet is this is how far and how broad the broad gate is. It's to where they're going to continue to miss it all the way to the end. They're going to be missing it. They still missing it. Look at 2024. We at the end, and they still missing it. So here he's saying that in Matthew 18 and verse 7, woe unto the world because of offenses. For it must need be, Deborah, that offenses come. But woe to that man by whom the offense cometh. See, that's what I'm trying to explain to you all. You got to be no, you ain't got to be nothing. Let me just lay that down. You ain't got to be nothing because Sister Deborah is finished in the eyes of y'all. Be offended. Don't like what Sister Deborah said. Don't understand what Sister Deborah said. Bounce back on Genesis 3 and 15. Then bounce over to Cain and Abel. Understand that right hand created two. And nothing's going to come back void. Okay? And because you have not understood it in spirit and in truth with the light in the right hand, you should be offended toward what Sister Deborah is saying. It should bother you. Every word that I say should bother you. That's why I tell you, I really like how when we in a live chat, how the snakes can come in, they turn around and duck right back out. They don't even listen to see, okay, what this person is saying. Let me get it. No, the serpent already know I'm going to get out of here before she crushed my head. Let me get out of here. And they are people, y'all. They getting out of the way because they don't want their head crushed. They want to keep their own plan, their own way. They don't want to come into anywhere and somebody crush their heads. Even those who call themselves prophets, prophetess, priests, evangelists, teachers, priests, pastors, Maureen, seers, watchmen. They don't want to come. They don't want to come nowhere because they don't want the plans of what they've been teaching you all. They don't want their head crushed from it. They want to remain in the lie because they have told people so many lies. They can't come back, y'all. They can't come back and tell you the truth. After they have told too many lies, they can't even come back to tell you the truth. And they're not going to come back to tell you the truth. They're going to stay in their lies. So let's go now to Mark 14. Let's see what Mark 14. Mark 14 is just giving you their example. Mark's example of what Yeshua was saying. Mark 14, verse 21. In Mark 14, in verse 21, it reads, let's go up to verse 20. Mark chapter 14 and verse 20. And he answered and said unto them, it is one of the 12 that dipped with me in the dish. The Son of Man indeed goeth, as it is written of him. But woe unto the man that by whom the Son of Man is betrayed. Good were it for that man if he had never been born. So I say unto you, each and every last one of you all that have been born, even a child that taken his first breath of life. If, say for instance, he's 6 days old, guess what? That breath of life gave him a mission, a purpose. That means a purpose is in that child already by the Most High Yah. Is it a purpose of evil, of the serpent seed, or the purpose of the spiritual seed? The purpose is in him. He comes in, say he died 10 days later. It doesn't matter that his flesh died. His spirit still has been sunk down, either one seed or the other. See, that's what y'all didn't understand. So let's go to where you see people who are aborting their babies. I do not condone nor agree with abortion. Let me tell you, I do not, and I do not condone. You got to understand abortion has always existed. It exists since the beginning of time. They would cause children to die even before they either get here or even after they get here. You see, so they've been aborting children since the beginning of time. What would you thinking they were trying to do with Yeshua before he was here? Do you think that them coming after Mary was to take her life, to stop her from having the Messiah? They was trying to abort the baby. See, abortion been here, y'all. Y'all got to wake up in the spirit realm and stop this here clowning in the natural. And you're not going to wake up in the spirit realm if the spirit realm ain't woke you up by now. I'm going to say that to tell you the truth of the whole matter. Because where we're at is at the end. We should be seeing his tribulation rolling up. We should be seeing his prophecies taking place. And the reason why they have the connection to cloning, they have the connection to the winds, the storms, the snow. My son is right now in Denver. He works at the ski resort, and he said, "Mama, they make the snow and everything. You see, they make it. If it don't snow during that snow season, when the people come in, they make it." He said it's a sight to see, but it's showing you Yah gave them the ability to reach their own understanding of what they think they can get. But it didn't come with their technology or their mindset or their smartness. It's still Yah allowing them to reach these destiny. Who will allow somebody to reach a destiny where they can create humans? Come on now, outside of Yah. They're creating them, but they don't have a spirit, you guys. You see? So what I'm trying to say to you all with the weather and with different things, y'all be thinking these are the things of Yah. Yah will allow Satan to have the ability to do, because Satan will go to him and say, "Well, I don't know, we don't know how this, we don't know how to do this, we don't know how to do this." So we can lead out. Okay, Yah say, okay, whatever they do that he don't want them to do, oh, he'll ban it. Oh, the Most High Yah will stop them. But what you see in the world today, he's allowing this here for a reason. See, why they thinking they're being smart and they're intelligent, they outbeating him. They don't understand you're only doing what he allowing you to do so that his will may be come to pass. He need that wicked and evil and wicked to bring his will to pass. Oh yes, it ain't that he needed, but he suffered it to be. He said, "I created it." Proverbs 16 and verse 4. I created it. Tell him, devil. You see, while we sitting around here thinking we created it, or it's in the power of these heathens and Gentiles, these Europeans. They ain't create nothing. Okay. Now, in Mark 14 and verse 21, he's actually saying, "The Son of Man indeed goeth as it is written, but woe unto the man by whom the Son of Man is being betrayed. Where good it would have been good had not he even been born." See, y'all don't understand that. So when you thinking you've been born to be all this and all that, baby, please sit down. Sit down. You need to understand. And I don't expect you to, okay? Because he said these things, Deborah, what? Need be. They need be, said Yeshua. He said it need be. So let's go to the end. Job chapter 3. This is the last verse. Job chapter 3. Let's go to Job chapter 3 and verse 16 through 19. Job chapter 3, verse 16 through 19. And it reads, Job chapter 3, verse 16 through 19. And it reads, "Or as an hidden, untimely birth, I had not been, as an infant which never saw light." This is Job speaking silly, but it's okay. It's to help Sister Deborah out, this little old lady. So he said, "Or as a hidden, untimely birth, I had not been, as an infant which never saw light." He said, you know how an infant is born, you know how they talk about women are aborting their babies? You know how they say women are aborting their babies? This is what he's talking about. He said that he would have never saw light, because he wants you born into the world and you get that breath of life, you gain that spirit in your life. See, that's real life. But all this stuff that they're doing, that's why aborting, they found it and learned of it, and they trying to get it before it inherit the breath of life. Okay, so here he's saying, Job is saying that he wished that he would not have, because he's feeling this thing, what he going through, y'all. that an untimely birth or had not been. He was hoping as an infant which never saw light. So he's telling you never saw light. That means he died in his mother's womb or untimely before he was anything, that he died. He wished that he didn't even have life, because he said, let's dig a little deeper into what Job is saying. Let me see. The affliction of Job is boiling over. So he's feeling this thing. Like Sister Debbie be telling y'all, you got to feel this thing. Okay. So Job is feeling this. And let's go back to verse 16. Job chapter 3 and verse 16. Or as an hidden untimely birth I had not been, as an infant which never saw light. This is also what Yeshua was saying in Matthew, Mark, John, and Luke, that their example was speaking to us about what Yeshua was saying, that the one who betrayed him, it would have been better had not he even been born. So you all don't understand, when you're not born, that means you're still in the kingdom. You see what I'm saying? Let's take, for instance, a woman go to abort a child. Okay, a child is in her womb. Okay, and this child is not born. Okay, or she aborted. Abortion is never going to be looked at as righteous. It's unrighteous. It's unjust. It's wicked. It's evil. Don't get me wrong. That's man creation. It's what people call living. See, people make living life and don't understand life is not living. Life is living. Living is not life. Okay? One rules the other, not the other rules it. So here, what he is explaining to those that's out there that don't understand. As a child is untimely birth, I had not been, as an infant, verse 16, which never saw light. That's if you have not even been born. Okay? Versus being born. See, these men, they understand so deeply to have an offense, not offense, a weapon of against abortion. But y'all got a greater abortion, a greater weapon against the men. Y'all's weapon is greater against the men than it will be a woman that aborted. Okay? First and foremost, the men themselves don't understand that in them, Yah has given them the seed of life. They have the seed of one born. Okay? And when they're jaculating and masturbating, they're destroying, they are aborting more children than a woman going to the abortion clinic aborting one. You see what I'm saying? I tried to teach that so y'all can get it, but you're not going to get it because this is a man's world. And if it's a man's world, it's Satan's world too. So that should make you understand why those two work together and why the hearts of men is the way that it is today, because it's playing and role playing Satan's ways out. And they trying to make it what? Righteous. They trying to make it life. And it's just them living wicked and evil. You see? So let's go back to that example. Say, for instance, you got a woman over here. She has a 12-week-old pregnancy. And you have a man over here. When he is jaculating, okay, he's dispersing the seeds to death. When she is at the abortion clinic, she aborting one seed. You see? So that same seed don't have life until it's seen light and received the breath of life. You see what I'm saying? The man carries the seed, okay, to in which the life is waiting to breathe into him. So if he's masturbating and dispersing all these seeds, you see, this is no different than a woman aborting one seed, except for he's aborting great seeds, many, and she's aborting one. It's no different. Let's go back to what Yeshua said. Now listen to what he's saying. Now, this is not Yeshua, this is Job. Job said, or as an hidden untimely birth, I had not been, as an infant which never saw light. See, so he's calling it untimely birth, as if it's him in his mother's womb, as an infant, and he calling it an infant which never saw light. Why? Because it's not the same as a child that's born. A child that's born receives the breath of life, and he received his mission. Why? Because the breath of life has entered into him with the breath and the spirit. That child has received a spirit and the breath. Let's take my son, Philip. Philip died at 3 months. Let's take my son, Lawrence. Lawrence died after 3 hours. Okay. Both were big, healthy babies. Both died. One lived 3 months, one lived 3 hours. Okay. Now, what did they come here with? The breath of life. So now, Philip and Lawrence, when they stand before the throne of the Father, they're going to have a spirit that's going to stand before Yah as Yah knew it. Okay? Lawrence, he only lived 3 hours. Okay? So Lawrence, he lives 3 hours, and yet he's going to stand before the throne for the 3 hours. As a spirit, he's standing. See, these are standing. All of us going to stand before the throne as a spirit. And they're going to still stand for judgment. Why? Because they received the breath and the image of Yah, which is a spirit. That's what the breath come to bring you, a spirit in your flesh. You get what I'm saying? They came into the world with the breath. You see? So even though they came in, they're going to stand before the judgment seat as well, as Yah knew them from where? The kingdom. Did we get to know them from the earth? No. But they came onto the earth with breath and a spirit. Because the breath is the part that blows in a spirit. Okay? So now they become, when they're in their mother's womb, I want you to take heed. When they're in their mother's womb, they living off everything of the woman. And this is what the men don't understand, the purpose of a woman. It's not what the purpose they want and they have created. This is showing you they teach you all living and not life. Okay? And it's okay. It's over. It ain't time to teach you because you have been on drugs so long, and the drug is the drug of unrighteousness. The drug of lies, manipulation, deception. You done been on all kind of drugs till righteous can't penetrate. Just can't penetrate. Wisdom and knowledge and understanding in the spirit can't penetrate because you've been on drugs of living for so long that you think it's life. Okay? So in Job, I like that him saying that because he's actually giving you some insight or some, where am I at? He's actually giving you a lot of insight. Job in chapter 3 and verse 16. He's giving you a lot of insight about how better it is had not he even was born or died as an infant. You see? Now, verse 17. There the wicked cease from trouble, and there the weary be at rest. See, he's letting you know that baby will cease from wickedness. It won't have to experience wickedness. From trouble, it won't have to experience. And there be weary, be at rest. They won't be weary. Why? Because they'll be at rest. See, a lot of people don't know when you leave this earth, the reason why he said you rejoice is because all the wicked and evil don't have this individual bound anymore. They are at rest. Even if you're resting in the light, or you're resting, if you were the born of the spirit, or if you are born of the flesh, when it come down to death, there's the place of rest. You get what I'm saying? There is the place of rest. That's where your spirit is now resting. I don't care if you're evil or you just? There's a place called rest, and it comes after death. Okay. So here he said, this untimely birth and an infant before it saw the light, there the wicked cease from trouble. He's telling you there, not being able to be born onto the earth, they what? They cease from trouble. They cease, and there the wicked be at rest. There the weary be at rest. He's letting you know that infant, he wish he would have left, because then all these troubles and cares of the world, if I was an infant, I wouldn't have had to go through that. And I passed away before I saw the light, I wouldn't have to go through that. See, that's showing you all that my sons saw the light. They were born. Okay. But this is where you got to understand. This is very powerful. And I'm going to teach this here over again in a different way on this one here, because this is deep. This is deep. So he's giving me a insight here on the light. And I love it. I love it what Job is doing here. He's making me already hungry for what I'm going to teach next. And to say this, now he said here in Job, he never saw the light. You see? So he never got a chance to breathe the breath of life to see the light of what? Living. Okay? So he said that it's better because you don't have to see the weakness. You don't have to experience the wickedness, nor the troubles, nor the weariness. All you have is rest. So in verse 18, it says, we still in Job chapter 3 and verse 18, there the prisoners rest together. See that? The prisoners, they rest together. See, you all, what they're teaching y'all is wrong. And that's why I was telling you the left shoe and the right shoe, they teaching y'all how to live and calling live life. And this is why you see people rejoice, crying and hooping and hollering at death. Here, Job is saying, there the prisoner rests together. Y'all, I'm telling you, when you pass away and the breath of life is snatched from you, death come to get the breath and the spirit. Guess what? You're just laying there in the flesh. You go to the grave, but your spirit is at rest. It is sleep, y'all. It can't be in hell. It can't be anywhere but sleep. Why? Because we have to stand before judgment. There's appointed a time, spiritual time, where we all going to come and we're going to be lining up for judgment. Okay. And it says, and the prisoners rest together. They hear not the voice of the oppressors. See, he's telling you, Job is actually telling you that no matter what you do, you're a prisoner or whatever, or you you're going to rest, and you don't even have to hear the oppressors anymore, because you're at rest. That's why he said you rejoice, because they don't have to suffer this wicked world anymore. Whether they are wicked themselves, it don't matter. They're going to a place of rest. I tried to teach that many a times, but just, I ain't gonna say try. I have spoken in many a times, but like I say, and except you have the ear to hear, which is the ruach, you're not going to take in nothing I'm saying. And therefore, some people will eat certain things off the plate and leave the rest. You can leave all you want. When it all said and done, I can guarantee you this. You're going to need everything on that plate, Sister Deborah speaking. Even if you have to move some of the that which is on the plate around, it doesn't matter. You're going to need all the food that's on the plate. And Job chapter 3 and verse 18, again, it says, there the prisoners rest together. They hear not the voice of the oppressed. And then what else? The next verse is 19. The small and the great are there, and the servants is free from their masters. And the servants are free from their masters. Now, you see right here, he's letting you know the small and the great. What did I tell y'all? We're looking at babies are the one he's talking about in the king. No. He was talking about the humbleness that y'all searches is like a baby, an innocent child that's so humble. No matter what's going on around them, they so humble. That's how heaven is. We are so humble before Yah. He's at the throne. We in the kingdom. We are so humble as he see us. We are humble in the spirit before him. Okay. But here he said in Job chapter 3 and verse 19, the small and the great are there. He's speaking of the place of rest, small and great. And the servant is free from his master on the earth. I mean, those that serve, they are free from their masters, their control, their order, these men who wants to be kings, leaders, and rulers, and how they treat these women, call themselves rulers, king. When you're dead, you're free from this. And I'm gonna tell y'all this, and I know I should not, but I'm gonna go in and sum this up. The reason why that is because a lot of people try to escape that rest for suicide. They try to escape by suicide. They figured if I could just end this living, I'm going to rest. Honestly, they're still going to that rest. They are resting. They're resting from all those troubles that they were carrying before they took their lives. They are at rest. They are at rest. Remember, Job said, even the prisoners are at rest. See, the unrighteous is at rest. The righteous, we are at rest. We're in the same paradise of sleep, which called rest. That's where we're at. Why? Because that is where our spirit reside and wait on the time of the kingdom to do what it does best. Okay, so everybody's there, young, great, old, it doesn't matter. Okay, so a lot of times when people are trying to make living life and not understanding, you got to take life first and foremost and teach people life, which is righteous, and then living, and then understanding death. Life would teach you all of that, because none of it would bother you once you understand life and who life is and what it consists of. But what he said to me, Deborah, they have taken living and made it life without understanding what life is. And they have taken life and made it death. And this is where people are at in the world. They don't understand the power of who is life. They have forsaken life. What's the start and what's the finisher? Not living. And that's why when someone dies, they hooping and hollering, because they don't understand life is the author of the beginning and the end. And just because you took on living to be better and greater and excellent and wonderful than life itself, then you have lived your living portraying it was life. And it was life in which we should have gripped beyond living. And that too, living ends up in the dirt. Okay? That's why he said, you come with nothing and you take nothing with you. Praise the mighty God. He's explaining to you, you can gain all this that you have in life, in living. But when you get ready to die, you take none of it with you. So that shows you that living is not the one you should be focusing on. It's life. Because life is eternal. It's just where you're going to spend it. So Sister Deborah, hope you got something out of it. I know I was all over the place with it, but let me tell you, it was truly food for the spirit. Shalom and shalom.